Welcome back to Say No More Media. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to this video, hype this video up. We're talking about Brennan Marion and what he means to the Colorado football transfer portal, how important it was of a hire for 2026, and how this hire changes the dynamic of our complete transfer portal. Without further ado, I appreciate y'all being in here. I'm going to get straight to it like I always do. Now, if you're not familiar with Brennan Marion's story, you're in for a good one today, right? If you're not familiar with Brennan Marion's story, you are in for a good one today. So, Brennan Marion signed with the Dolphins in 2008, 2009 as an undrafted free agent, right? His story was one that they had on ESPN, First Take. They did a whole interview on it. If you don't understand his story, then you don't understand how hungry he is and what he had to overcome and had to persevere to get to where he's at right now, even as the Colorado Buffaloes offensive coordinator. His goals, where he's trying to get to, him creating his own offense, the go-go offense. He was at one point, he was really like that. I ain't gonna hold you. Played wide receiver for Tulsa from 2007 to 2008, set an NCAA record for yards in a single season at 31.9 yards a catch. In 2000, you know how 31.9 yards per catch is, bro. On top of that, played at 2 junior colleges before transferring to Tulsa. So ultimately, what Brennan Marion was able to show was perseverance, and he's hungry. And that's one thing that we get. We got a different set of eyes on the transfer portal this season. That's something we were able to get with Brennan Marion coming over, was a new set of eyes on the transfer portal. Somebody who had to grind, somebody who was hungry, somebody who was a dog, who had to do what he had to do to get, on the practice squad to sign as an undrafted free agent. Been there, done that. That's a part of the Coach Prime staff, right? We're adding not only NFL experience, we're adding a prolific playmaker when he was with Tulsa. And then on top of that, we're adding somebody who has created his own offense. This is all based off the hunger and the passion where he's trying to get after Colorado. So look, this is not just a stop for Marion, bro. Marion, he ain't new to this. He true to this too, bro. Like, so if everybody, I know we have a short history on who Brennan Marion was, but go back and look at the tape, bro. Go roll the highlights of Marion back in the day when he signed as an undrafted free agent. Was like that at Tulsa. So he understand. So now we can understand his mind. We also can understand what else he brings. He brings NFL caliber experience, not only as an offensive coordinator, but he'll bring experience as in the wide receiver room. The knowledge he's going to be able to kick down to our wide receivers, the knowledge he's going to be able to, lean in with Coach Phillips. Coach Phillips and Coach Marion both played in the NFL, right? So he not only brings that, but he also brings a different dynamic with his go-go offense that he created as well, right? So if you haven't seen this before, if it's your first time here, I always like to give you guys a lesson that you can, and make it simple, right? I always like to make everything simple right here, right? So I'm about to simplify this very, very, very easy, right? So what the go-go offense is, right? And what it's going to mean in the Big 12, right? So everybody's talking about it, everybody's wondering, right? The go-go offense is a 2 running back spread offense that uses formations, motions, and deception to force defenses to declare coverage and box numbers, right? We talking football today. We talking football. It attacks horizontally, meaning they're always trying to stretch down the field. Think that 31 point yards per catch that Brennan Marion has. Screens, motion, perimeter runs, and vertical shots off play action. Juju's finna eat while keeping read simple. What were we missing last season at Colorado? Let's keep it real. Play action. Everything is predicated off the play action, off of the being able to everything is predicated off of the running backs, bro. 2 running backs on the field at all times. The defense must pick a problem. Stop the run or cover space, right? Tempo plus motion. Make defenders communicate and make mistakes. That's what the go-go offense is about. You're going to see a lot of misdirection. You're going to see a lot of offset. You're going to see a lot of motion before. We're trying to recognize if it's they're in zone or they're in man coverage. Everything is predicated off the run game, though. Run looks create play action, explosive post routes, wheel routes, deep over routes, quick game and RPOs keep Juju clean and moving the chains, bro. That's how we beat. If we're wondering how do we go from 20 points per game in the Big 12 to when we're going to get to 30, 32 points per game, it's the go-go offense, bro. Wide receiver blocking matters. Explosive run happen when the wide receivers win on the edge. No block, no rock. All 2026. Don't be the guy who forgets to throw that block to stop our running backs, because we got the running backs to do it this season, for being able to explode, pause, and make big plays. Appreciate everybody being in here. Now, you got to count the defenders in the box. Simple, right? Find the overhang, the guy between the run and the pass. That's who we're attacking, whether in a screen route, quick screen. We're going to make him make quick decisions. We're going to make him think before the game. The go-go offense is meant to make everybody think before the game. If they load the box, it's simple. Throw quick. Bubble screens, quick slant. It's simple. If they play soft, run it and stay on schedule. We're going to run it until we're going to run it till we can't run it no more. It's simple. Take 2 to 3 shot plays off of half run looks. Play action creates everything for us, right? So yeah, I want to go over here real quick and take a break and do a live reaction so you can just understand who Brennan Marion is a little bit more, so that we understand together about who we hired as offensive coordinator here. I don't know why the hell my screen look. Okay, there it is. Here. Boom. All right. Appreciate y'all being here. Let's get it rolling right now. Share instead. So now we're about to take a look at Brennan Marion. We're kind of going to get a history of Brennan Marion, who he is and what he brings to CU, right? All right, we're going to do a live reaction to ESPN First Take. Brennan Marion, shout out to ESPN. Go subscribe, like to their channel. Of course, you know, if you ain't subscribed to ESPN, what is you doing anyways? So here's Brennan Marion while he was at Tulsa. Or he's already in the Miami Dolphins camp. Sorry about that. He's already made it in the camp. This is our offensive coordinator.
People that don't know your story, we're going to try to share it with them. You were a good high school football player. Absolutely. You didn't have any scholarship offers. So what did you decide to do?
All right.
I decided to move out to California with a friend of mine and just go out there and keep following my dream.
Now, I thought Brennan Marion was from Pennsylvania. He sure does have a strong country accent. That's the first thing I hear when I listen to Brennan Marion is basically, bro, he has a strong country accent. Well, it makes sense now with the cowboy boots and everything. But Brennan Marion didn't have any offers coming out of high school, so he took a bet on himself, went out to California, and played JUCO for 2 seasons, right? So now that we're just getting a story right here. Appreciate y'all being here.
Go to junior college.
And why California? Why go all that way? You were in Pittsburgh at the time.
Pennsylvania doesn't have any junior college systems, and I was told that California had the best junior college football.
So we just see this young man's journey already, bro. So I want you guys to stay with me as far as who we have on staff. Hungry, bro. Brennan Marion knows if he comes and does what he's supposed to do, what we all expect him to do, his first season in the Big 12 is going to add to his legacy. He's going to make it back to the NFL one way. He might not have had a career as a player in the NFL, but he for sure about to bring that go-go offense to the NFL. If you think he's gonna let that opportunity slip this year, you crazy. He coming for everything that was his. Pause.
To get you to Division I, so that's why I went out there.
Then you went out to Foothill College out there, no scholar.
So look, signed with the Dolphins this season as an undrafted free agent. D3, what it do? Yes, sir. Played wide receiver for Tulsa from 2007 to 2008. Set NCAA records.
So what did you do
for yards
to get
per
by
catch in a single season in 2007? 31.9. Played at 2 junior colleges before transferring to Tulsa. Somebody who's hungry,
and
somebody who knows what they want, somebody who understands what it means to grind, hard work. Absolutely. Can't wait to see the go-go. Saw a little bit of the go-go at UNLV. Clips of the 2 backside by the side with the quarterback. Oh, yeah. You know we got something cooking up today, D3, for sure. You know I had to bring the formations back. You know I had to talk about it, baby. You already know. Facts. 7-5 at Sacramento State as a head coach. Now he gets to not have to be a head coach. All Brennan Marion has to do is dial up plays. All he could do is focus on being an offensive coordinator. Come on. We about to eat. We're going to take a look back at this video so we understand more of a story, overcoming the hurdles in his journey to the NFL. He signed with the Dolphins. He's been there. So he's looking at this wide receiving crew like, I know what it takes to get there. Averaging 31 yards per catch in college he was going crazy.
We couldn't make much. We made just enough to pay the rent, or when we lived in different rooms, the rent and stuff like that. Just enough to get by, just enough to keep trying to accomplish our dream and goal.
And from there, from what I understand, you transferred to De Anza College. Still, you didn't have a regular place to stay. So where did you sleep?
talking about his story, man, coming over, risking it all, betting on himself, betting him and his boys in college, grinding. This is what it takes to make your dreams come true, bro. Betting on yourself, leaving Pennsylvania, coming all the way to the West Coast. You know, when I played at junior college, bro, at Chabot College, right? I understand this grind, bro. I'm gonna give y'all a story real quick. I understand this grind. We had cats that came over from Florida. We had cats that came over from Detroit. They all got an apartment together, different walks of life, people from Florida, all having one dream, and they can only put 11 people on the field. We had a bunch of people from Louisiana, right? When Hurricane Katrina happened in 2005, we had a bunch of high school guys who had just came from Hurricane Katrina who was trying to ball still, right? So they all came out. We played my first season, 05, when we played junior college at Chabot College. I had a bunch of people from Louisiana, bunch of people from Philly, bunch of people from Florida. They all, because there's no football programs out there. That's the first I was like, y'all ain't got no JCs out there. Nah, bro, you got to come to California. California got some of the best junior college programs. And remember, at that time in the NCAA, you had 5 years to play 4. There was none of this. You had a redshirt year, and you had 5 years to play 4. So him transferring to 2 different junior colleges, I didn't know that. You feel me? But that's a super grind.
When you were there?
Just different rooms for rent. I had a lot of good friends out there who would let me stay at their house for a couple weeks and just move different places around town, around San Jose and the Oakland area.
What if you didn't have a...
So he was out here in the Bay. Because De Anza, I played against De Anza in college. So absolutely, I understand what that Bay life is. What's up? It's your world. Robert Livingston interview for the Cowboys today. Yeah, we gonna stay locked in on Robert Livingston, bro. He might be on his way out, but best of luck to him. He understands how important this season is. He's betting his whole career on this is my personal opinion. That defense has to do what it's supposed to do, and it's a completely revamped, it's a completely overhauled defense. And we got a lot. We're banking on the Kurt Signetti approach. We're banking on FCS players with production to come shine in Power 4. So there's nothing wrong with having a backup plan. Grade 109, what's good? PA to Cali's betting on yourself. Absolutely, grade 1 facts. And I met plenty of brothers like this, bro. Plenty of people who came from Louisiana, Florida. This was it. And then I seen some of them come out here and get no burn, bro. They was on pine because they really weren't even like that. They some of them was weak. I ain't gonna hold you. But then I had some twin brothers, bro, that came from Philly. One play safety, one play free safety. They was cool. They ended up going to like a D2 or an NAIA school. But it's hit or miss on when you come out to when you take that risk at JC though, for sure. I hope RL don't leave. He didn't have the dogs. Yeah, absolutely. I hope he don't leave, but I understand why he's interviewing, because if this season, like I talked about last night, this season for Brennan Marion is all up. Like, if he does great, cool. He's going to get the opportunities from the NFL is going to start calling. They're going to be like, oh, all right, we seen what you did in the Power 4 conference in the Big 12. Move on up. If Robert Livingston has 2 years in a row where his defense is subpar or not dominating, now his value starts to devalue now, because now they like, well, now you had a whole portal to put together your team. You got to have eyes on the players you need. And, last year, over 400 yards a game, 200 yards rushing, 200 yards receiving, allowed 30 points per game. That's a gamble. So I understand why he's interviewing. There's nothing wrong with it. You better be. I mean, this is a business, bro. Ain't no guarantees. If you get an opportunity and you can dip and you can strike while you still got some value, because everything's a gamble. Even this whole season coming up, there's no guarantees. We still got to put the work in and go put belt. But right now we're doing a live reaction to ESPN Brennan Marion, getting to know our offensive coordinator a little better. His grind, his struggle, bro. That's why I believe he ain't gonna let us down.
Friend's place that you could stay in. Were you able to use the facilities at the school at all or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. That summer, actually, we didn't have anywhere to stay, so we stayed the locker room and in the press box and different places around the school.
What?
Had janitors leave doors open for us and stuff like that. We were just
crazy.
Out there to accomplish a dream. And
slept in the locker room and slept in the press box, bro. That's what you call betting on yourself. That's a real story, bro. So when he sees these kids coming in here, he understands the grind it takes, bro. Living with different people, living in the press box and living in the locker room is crazy work, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
We wouldn't leave until we did that.
And obviously people probably are thinking, if you didn't have money to necessarily have your own place to pay rent, how about food? What were you getting by on?
Bro, think about that for a second, bro. Living in the press box and in the locker room is crazy. I think the tight end coach should be the defensive coordinator. Yeah. Isn't he coming over from high school, though? Isn't he coming over from high school? Does he have a lot of college experience? I hope RL don't leave. He didn't have the dogs last year. Yeah. Nah, but think about Brennan Marion's story, bro. Coming over and sleeping in the press box, sleeping in the locker room, trying to figure out where his next meal was going to come from. That's why I feel like his hunger is what's going to propel us to the next level.
I had a couple family members send me money here and there, or different odd jobs that I work, get a little bit of money, and we'd walk down to McDonald's or walk over to like Subway and just go get a dollar menu deal or something like that.
Yeah.
When you
hey, y'all remember back in the day that McDonald's, boy, that McChicken and that McDouble for 99 cents, 2 apple pies. If you a college player, you already know that might have been in a Little Caesars pizza might have hold you for about 2 days. A lot of the players I played with at JC, they were getting jobs at Foot Locker. They were getting part-time jobs at Champ Sports. So we would have school in the morning. Then we would go to practice. And then a lot of us had part-time jobs. We would go work 4 or 5 hours at Foot Locker, 4 or 5 hours at Champs, just to get some extra money. Because, back in the day, you just got that Pell Grant. $1,500 in the beginning of the year. I think it was $1,500 or $2,500. One of those. You got the Pell Grant. And because JC, there ain't really no scholarships in JC. I mean, they'll try to hook you up if you really, really a good player. But for the most part, you got to fund yourself at JC. You get your Pell Grant 2 times a semester. So, yeah, having some food money or whatever, a lot of people had to go get part-time jobs. So I understand the grind. I definitely understand the grind.
There, from what I understand, you fulfilled a class requirement, gave a speech on your hardships. Once you did that, how did things change as people learned your story?
People just admired me and just were
right
in awe of the fact that I came so far. And
so as you can see right here, he had already signed with the Miami Dolphins. Now, he was dealing with an injury while he was in camp. He wasn't able to stay on the roster, but you could just hear his story coming from Pennsylvania all the way to Cali, going to 2 junior colleges, transferring to Tulsa, leading the entire NCAA at 31.4 yards a catch, and then making it onto a Miami Dolphins roster. So think about him now in Boulder. Now when he's looking at these guys, he's looking at who's in the back. He understands he was sleeping in the locker room. He was sleeping in the press box. So now he's looking at these guys like, man, you got to want it. Remember when you said nothing's impossible when you got a dream attached to it? He remembers them days. So when he in there cooking up for the Big 12, he's thinking about his next opportunity, getting that multi-million-dollar contract at the NFL level. Liz, I understand this might be a 1-year deal we got Brennan Marion on. I know and also look at this. I'm just going to speak what's on my mind. Rob Livingston could have had high hopes of being the next head coach for the offense for the Colorado Buffaloes. My bad. Right? Think about this. But Brennan Marion comes in. You tell me nothing against Livingston or whatever, right? Love the dude. He has a grind too. Came from Cincinnati. Coach Prime was one of the ones who gave him an opportunity. But right now, Brennan Marion looks like the head candidate to be the new head coach once Prime steps away. Just keeping it real. The optics say that. The vibe says it. How he's interacting with the players says it. Rob Livingston is cool. I understand. But that makes more sense now with seeing him take the head to interviewing to see where he can get, because this might be Brennan Marion's next. He might be the next head coach for Colorado in the future. Right now, we know it's Coach Prime's team. But he has everything you need. He's relatable. He's younger. NFL experience. Created his own offense. He's vibing with the team. You feel me? He's bringing in a lot of his own recruits, a lot of his players. He was heavy in the transfer portal, bro. A big reason why we got a lot of the players that we got, the certain type of players that we got, it was Marion. And then, of course, he kicked it to Prime. Prime had the final say-so. Let's not get that twisted. Brennan Marion just didn't bring in players to Colorado without Coach Prime watching the film and giving him the okay. But I know that this set of eyes, no disrespect, is way different than Phillips and whoever we had last season on the recruiting staff. That's important. We didn't get it right last season. So salute to Coach Prime, bro, to going out and so because you don't just get an offensive coordinator with Brennan Marion, you get a recruiter. He got ties from Atlanta up the East Coast, all the way to PA, to Houston, the dirty South, all the way to California, bro. Brennan Marion got the recruiting world on lock. Everybody gonna want to come play for him in his offense, especially when we put what I know we finna put on paper. It's finna be up. For real.
I'm still working hard now to this day.
And it paid off then. You got an offer to go to Tulsa, a scholarship offer. What was that moment like?
Right.
It was a great moment. I mean, it just felt like the stuff that I accomplished in junior college.
Is PA, do they got a country accent like that, bro? Does PA have a strong accent like that? Let me see what's going on here. Because his accent is super strong. I appreciate everybody being in here too. You know how our chat is, bro. Chat, what's good? It's your world. Great one. D3. What's up with y'all, man? Appreciate y'all being in here, bro. What's good? What y'all got planned this weekend? What's the word? Let me know something. Appreciate y'all being here. If y'all can hit the thumbs up too, we're really appreciate it, bro. What's good? I'm looking for a mod too. I got put on game about a mod. So this is how you be a mod. If you join the membership, if you join the channel memberships, we're going to talk mod situations. That's a fact. I'm going to do the StreamYard. I'm going to do the whole thing. But if you join the channel memberships and you let me know you joined that membership and you want to be interested in being a mod, let me know something. I'm new to this mod. Some of y'all know how to do the mod stuff better than me. So that's what I'm running right now. If you want to be part of the mod situation in the channel, join the channel memberships. We can talk. We can make it work. Let's get it. The lowest subscription, the lowest supporter, like I think it's what, $5.99 or something, $6.99. If you want to be a mod or something, join the channel. We'll talk. We'll holler after that. But right now we're doing a live reaction to Coach Brennan Marion, really getting to understand his story, who he was, his grind, and why Coach Prime specifically hired him as offensive coordinator. Bruh, this wasn't no joke, bruh. I believe Brennan Marion interviewed, like when we hired Sean Lewis, he interviewed too, but he didn't get the job. So he went over to UNLV, right? Boom. And then from UNLV, he jumped over to Sac State. Boom. Then from Sac State, he's here. So this dude will cut. Just understand that. He understands the business. He gets the opportunity to be a head coach at an FCS school. He goes and does his dance. Goes crazy. Now Coach Prime comes calling. He's at a Power 4 school. Now the go-go offense goes crazy. Now the NFL is calling for him to be an offensive coordinator. Now he got leverage. So I understand this word. I understand right now we got him for 1 year. I'm taking that 1 year at a time. 1 year at a time. Because if he does what I think he's going to do, it's going to be up for sure.
Paid off, and all the hardships I went through had paid off for me to get to Tulsa.
And then, as if that wasn't enough, what you'd already gone through, I mentioned it when I first was getting to you. You know, so many people deal with different things. You had to deal with injury. Your last game at Tulsa, you blew out your knee. When that happened, what went through your mind?
Tough.
That definitely was the hardest thing because I got a lot of family members depending on me, and I felt.
Yeah, that's always tough, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Injuries are always tough, bro. Injuries are always tough to overcome. That's really why he dropped in the draft, bro, because you understand NFL teams are hesitant to pick up on guys who have injuries like that. I don't know if I could show them highlights, and I ain't trying to have them come for me, especially ESPN. Ain't no way. Reign Supreme. I thought he was a defensive coordinator. What up? What up? Who are we talking about? The tight end coach? Yeah, now the guy who gave that crazy speech, that's the tight end coach. But him and Prime got a good relationship, and bro has a great high school track record. Defensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure Coach Prime has already interviewed some people for the defensive coordinator position. It ain't nothing. It ain't no surprise. He understands Livingston, and Coach Prime played for the Cowboys. You feel me? So he probably chopping in with Jerry Jones, probably trying to throw him an alley-oop. Coach Prime might be trying to throw it off the backboard for Robert Livingston because that's the type of person that Coach Prime is. I do understand that there are some coaches who did, like there are some people who might have caught us by surprise, but for the most part, it seems like it's a pretty open relationship at CU. Like it's not no surprise. Like Damian Lewis, Phil Lohart left. Marshall Falk came there for 1 season and went to whatever that Southern school and got a head coach. So Coach Prime is all about promoting. I mean, I don't know if it's promoting or at least you get a better opportunity. So I feel like we're already interviewing for who's going to be the next defensive coordinator if Robert Livingston does head off to the NFL. Nobody on the East Coast sounds like him. That's a country accent. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I was like, they sound like that in PA. I thought PA was more like Philly. You feel me? Like Gilly and Wallow and all them over there. You feel me? I was like, but yeah, I guess they got the country in there too. So we're doing a live reaction to Brennan Marion in 2009. He had just signed with the Miami Dolphins. So we can understand that we have an NFL experienced wide receiver who can bring NFL type of drills, NFL work ethic. Also, the type of mind he has. innovative, created his own offense, been a head coach before. The biggest pickup, the biggest hire of the offseason, bro. Y'all feel it too. Once we seen Brennan Marion hired, we all felt more comfortable with the transfer portal, everything. I ain't gonna hold you because they blew it last season. Keep it real. Colorado blew it last season. It was hard. It was hard to trust this offseason, bro. Like, man, how are they gonna get it right? And this is coming from a real fan, bro. But I gotta keep it real on my channel. Everybody can attest to the hire of Brennan Marion has made everybody a little bit more at ease because, and salute to Coach Prime for doing that too. You feel me? He overseen everything. He's the one who hired him. So, hey, hey, salute to Coach Prime for hiring him. But he's younger, he's relatable, and if something, let's say Coach Prime gets sick, you feel me? Something happens. He knows how to run a team. He's been a head coach. He can run this team, bro. And the players mess with him. You feel me? So we good. We good there.
How did that help you at that point where then you have an injury and you're thinking about the NFL draft?
Right.
It just reminded me of that nothing in my life has ever been easy. So
facts.
I just tightened up my boots and got back to work.
And got signed as an undrafted free agent by the Miami Dolphins. It's another one where I want to ask you, what was that moment like when you were offered a contract?
Boots.
It was definitely a great moment. It
was definitely a great moment. But yeah, so the best relatable situation I can say is Brennan Marion, Will Shepherd, right? Will Shepherd came over from Vanderbilt for us, put up about 600 yards, about 6-7 touchdowns, but didn't get drafted. Went as an undrafted free agent. Worked his butt off, had a little, first signed with Tampa Bay, right? So Will Shepherd for us in 2024, in the 2025 draft, went undrafted, but he first was up there with Shiloh, and him and Shiloh was up in Tampa Bay, but he didn't pass his physical. I think it was something wrong with his shoulder or something. So then they had to let him go. And then he got picked. Then he was at, I think it was the Denver Broncos camp. And then he was at Green Bay. He got picked up at Green Bay, did his thing in the preseason, ended up making the practice squad. I think he finally got signed to the active roster. So if you're thinking about NFL draft relatability, that's what Brennan Marion did. He went undrafted, but signed as a free agent. Same thing that Shiloh did. Same thing Cameron Silman Craig did. Same thing BJ Green did. You feel me? So that just gives you that the type of mindset of what type of player he was. He put up production, but the NFL wasn't going to, they were like, all right, we'll draft him as an undrafted free agent, give him an opportunity in camp, let him prove himself, especially coming off a blown out knee as a wide receiver when everything matters on cutting and being able to put your foot in the ground and go misdirection. When you blow out your knee, that's a tough situation. I really feel like he probably would have had a longer career if it wasn't for that injury, though.
Just to have the chance to be in the NFL and have a chance to, even with the knee injury, that someone still thought enough of me to offer me a contract.
And a lot of people don't realize this. We were talking about it in the break. Right. You don't have a dolphin on your helmet at mini camps when you're a member of that team. Training camp either. You have to earn your spot on.
That's crazy. So they got them boys out there with no dolphin on the helmet is wicked. I ain't gonna hold you. Homestead, PA population of 2,000 are basically the South. Oh yeah, no, I can see that for sure. Absolutely. I didn't know that. I didn't know that in minicamp that you had to earn it. But I played this video specifically not only for myself, but for us to understand Coach Prime is hiring the same type of coaching staff as he's hiring players. That's a mic drop right there. I ain't going to hold you. Let me give myself 100 on that. He's hiring the same type of coaching staff as he is players. Hungry, looking for an opportunity, looking for somebody that didn't believe in me. People passed up on Brennan Marion last season. He interviewed for a bunch of offensive coordinator for the Power 4 schools, a bunch of head coaching jobs for Power 5 schools, and nobody gave him an opportunity, but Coach Prime did. So what I see right now, not only in our coaching staff, is what I see with Brennan Marion, hungry. So I'm looking at the approach this season, and I feel what Coach Prime's doing, bro. He said, I'm going for not only coaches who are hungry, I'm going for players who are hungry, that are just those guys who are sleeping at the facility with me, who's spending the night with Coach Prime. Like, I ain't left yet. I ain't left yet. You see Swayze still up there in the building training guys who are trying to, that we got the NFL. I'm about to start really getting into the our pro day too. It ain't gonna be nothing like 2024. I'm sick because 2024 was like a whole showcase, but we still got to support them. If they put on that uniform, we gonna give them their proper coverage for their pro day. Salute to Sincere Brown, Caden Salter, Jeremiah Brown, Xavier Hill, Preston Hodge, all them that got an opportunity to make a team next season, we're gonna cover them for sure. But what Coach Prime did do is he hired hungry coaches as well. Note, I really wanted to know why he named the offense the Go-Go. Right on, Rain. Yeah, the Go-Go is basically, I don't know, he probably learned that in the Bay. I ain't gonna hold you. You probably learned that in the Bay, but the lot. Go watch my video too on the whole breakdown of the Brennan Marion Go-Go offense, bro. It's crazy. But basically he was a high school coach and he didn't have the type of he didn't really have a lot of talent on his roster. So he needed to create a system of misdirections and mismatches for a not really talented roster. So now you got somebody who created their whole offense off of not having a talented roster, and you give them power forward, explosive players, Cam Perry, Quentin Gibson, Joseph Williams, DeAndre Moore Jr., Zach Atkins, Track Hawk, Julian Lewis, 5-star quarterback, great offensive line, Bo Hughley, Pancake from Houston. Come on now. What we talking about? He about to cook. We're going to finish this interview, and I'm going to get back into my presentation that I had. I just wanted to finish this interview so we can understand what Brennan Marion went through to get here. This ain't by choice, bro. He had to grind to get here.
On the team, what would it mean to you to get that dolphin on your helmet?
It would mean a lot to me, definitely, because this is my lifelong dream, and I'm definitely going to accomplish this dream.
Brennan, I have no doubt there's nothing you can't do. You've already been through.
That was a crazy response. I was expecting a lot more, but it is what it is.
Through a lifetime of trials, I think, at your age. Best of luck to you with the Miami Dolphins.
Right on, brother.
Thank you.
All right, boom. So now we see what he was able to do, right? Now, the most important part for a Brennan Marion offense, right, is who he brought to the team, right? So this is the Colorado football projected offensive depth chart and what it is and why we can win the Big 12, right? So if you look at a Brennan Marion's offense, bro, he always has like a 1A, 1B rotation. It's very common. Go back and look at Sac. Don't take my word for it. Go back and look at Sac State's offense last season. They had a 1A, 1B common. He does have a featured back. If you can separate yourself, he had a 1,000-yard back, but he also had 2 500-yard running backs, and also his quarterback ran for over 400 yards. So if we betting this year, take Julian Lewis on his over for rush yards. We're going to talk about that too. I got Prize Picks on the way as a partner affiliate. So I'm about to have the code Say No More available for y'all probably about 2 more weeks. So use promo code Say No More, get $25, whatever you deposit, they're going to match it because Say No More, partner affiliate with Prize Picks on the way. Just letting y'all know. So we taking Julian Lewis's who will be the featured running back this season. Bro, I know you're excited. We are too, but please let the interview play. Let them talk. My bad, Lawrence, bro. My fault. Right on. But yeah, who will be the featured back this season? Right now, the featured back is going to be Track Hawk for sure. He's the most versatile. He's going to eat the most in his offense this season. He's probably the fastest running back on the team. Absolutely. Is a dog at wide receiver. So there's so much you're going to be able the Kalen Track Hawk is the mismatch for me. I don't think he's going to lead us in rushing. I think he's going to lead us in all purpose yards because Track Hawk was going crazy last season before he got hurt. Michael Welch is always going to be the consistent there. Michael Welch going to be the consistent. Don't sleep on Richard Young as far as upside and just straight up potential, because he is coming over from an SEC program, Alabama. Cam Newton, our high school running back, I feel like he's going to be a developmental project. We're probably going to see him on special teams more before we see Cam Newton actually crack the rotation. I would have loved to see Simeon Price stay here, but at the end of the day, he signed with Oregon. Salute to that brother. I hope he's able to go out there and figure it out, right? Now, you know me and how I feel about the wide receivers, bro. It ain't no secret. The go-go offense shows love to the wideouts, bro. So basically, they roll about 5 to 7 deep in the rotation. Like, you can go back to his UNLV days. He had a 1,000-yard wide receiver at UNLV. He did put a wide receiver in the league, and then his slot receiver transferred over to Cal, who's going crazy right now. He was more of a slot receiver. So He likes to go with a big featured receiver who could play outside boundary, inside. Think DeAndre Moore Jr. And then he likes to go with a more of a slot receiver. Think Scudero Perry. Danny Scutterin is crazy. That is not what I said. That is Danny Scudero. My bad. So basically, how this looks, right? DeAndre Moore Jr. and Joseph Williams, Hakeem Williams are going to be basically rotating on the outside. You got Joseph Williams. Joseph Williams played a lot of slot for CU last season, but he's not. Now that we got quicker slot wide receivers, I don't need Joseph Williams in the slot no more, bro. I want Scudero, Perry, Gibson, Ernest Campbell. I need Ernest Campbell on the field 70% of the time just because of the baseline straight stream. If you leave him one-on-one, he's going over the top, bro. Deep post, deep curl, deep seam routes, post, curl. Ernest Campbell ran a 4.3, and he knows the go-go offense. Cam Perry is my explosive wide receiver. He can play outside or inside despite his size. Pause. Cam Perry can play. If you go back and watch his Miami, Ohio, he can play outside or inside. And Gibson, don't sleep on Gibson, bro. He's hungry. Quanell X Farrakhan, hungry. Mathis, hungry. I said this in my other video before. The wide receiver room, it's going to be a lot tighter competition than we think. Gibson can do everything that Perry and Scudero could do, and I feel like he's hungry enough to where Scudero is a little bit more knowledgeable in finding the zones on third downs. He gets open. If you leave him one-on-one, he might not be the fastest guy. He's a 4.5, but if you played football and you play with a lot of football, Larry Fitzgerald wasn't the fastest guy, always got open. Jerry Rice wasn't the fastest guy, always found himself open. So you don't need to be running a 4.3, 4.4 to understand how to get open, especially 10 to 15 yards. There's ways you can use your quickness and your cerebral to get open a lot more than just being a flat out burner, right? So again, glad you guys are here with me. If you guys are in the building, I appreciate it. If you guys be able to hit the like button, bro, and be able to hype this video up. If not, it's all good. Say no more. We're gonna keep it moving, right? So this is just for if you want to understand what Coach Marion's offense is, right? And what the base go-go offense. If you're just looking like, what is the go-go offense in 2012 and 2026 and how it's going to look in the Big 12? Now, he will tweak this depending on if we can attack. Oh, Georgia Tech got a weak defensive end. He doesn't know how to cover the RPO. He doesn't understand. He doesn't do good off a run-pass option. We're going to tweak it. If Northwestern or Weber State, their linebackers are slow, we're going to see more of a four wide, and we're going to exploit them. We're going to run it, and we're going to get that mismatch. We're going to find that mismatch. Brennan Marion always finds the mismatch, bro. That's the beauty of the go-go offense. So the base go-go offense, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. That's the basic offense. Misdirection. You always going. When you think those third wide receivers, though, you got to think about the slot coming in motion. So he can hike the ball. Juju gets to the line, right? We got DeAndre Moore, Joseph Williams, Quentin Gibson right here. Scudero right here. We motion Scudero. Right when he crosses that tight end or that tackle there, we hike it. So now we still got Scudero or Perry coming in motion. That means the edge has to worry about, we can hand it off to him on a sweep. We got Michael Welch or Damian Henderson inside zone. Now Juju puts his back. So you see the misdirection, and then now we got Trackhawk coming in another direction. So everything is misdirection. So y'all feel me on that, right? So it's like Juju Lewis, RB1, Michael Welch, RB2, Trackhawk Henderson, DeAndre Moore Jr., Joseph Williams, Danny Scudero, right? Why it works. It forces box decisions, gives Juju quick chain movers. What we didn't have last season was quick chain movers. We needed, so think Sincere Brown, Omarion Miller, not quick. Sincere Brown was long. He was paused. That was crazy. Sincere Brown was fast, long strider, but now we got Scudero who can get, on a choice route, 5 to 7 yards. Cam Perry, quick. Quentin Gibson, quick. Caleb Mathis, quick. So then now that's how we're able to exploit the defense in the base go-go offense, right? Now, forget that fantasy right there. I don't know why it said that, but this is my 5 wide, right? DeAndre Moore Jr. Actually, he wouldn't even beat him to. It would be Scooter, Cam Perry, Quentin Gibson, Ernest Campbell, empty set. Quarterback is Juju, empty or motion them and put track hawk at running back, empty them out outside, right? Isolate. The goal is to isolate the start tempo drives, 2-minute offense. Think we got 2-minute offense. We got to go get a touchdown. We're going to isolate mismatches and win with quick reads. That's something we didn't have last season, right? You've seen Caden Salter, he back there waiting for Amarion Miller to get open 15, 17 yards on a mesh route. Sincere Brown, 15, 17 yards on a mesh route. Joseph Williams, 15, 17 yards on a mesh route. Now, 5 yards, Cam Perry, stop route. Boom, get it to him, make the first man miss. Quick slant, scooter roll, boom. Quentin Gibson, quick little bubble screen. That's what the go-go offense brings to Colorado in the Big 12 in 2026. So, appreciate everybody being in here, too. Appreciate y'all being in here, bro. You know, it's always good when we're able to cook like this, right? So, inside zone, right? We're going to talk some football today, right? Simple breakdown. The running back one takes the handoff in the first lane, right? Pretty simple. O-line works the double team up to the linebackers. I couldn't fit everything in here, but bear with me. The quarterback reads the end. If the end crashes, we understand it, right? So you can go back and look up my lessons on the go-go offense, basically. But what I like to do here, bro, I like to talk the headlines and everything. But I love formations. I love football, bro. I love being able to see. I love the go-go offense visual playbook, bro. I like to be able to see. 5 wide spacing, right? Spread the field, quick decisions, every run, short option routes. Quarterback takes what the defense gives. Think Perry, Scooter, DeAndre Moore Jr. We're on the field. We go 5 wide. Simple decisions. We're moving the chains. If we get Ernest Campbell one-on-one, we're going over the top. If we get Cam Perry one-on-one lined up with a linebacker or slot, I'll take my chances over the top, especially if we can hold the safeties on the outside. If we can hold the safeties on DeAndre Moore Jr. or Joseph Williams, I'm taking my shot over the top every time. Absolutely. Absolutely. So think 4 verticals right there, right? Third down. What we didn't have last season, we didn't have, like I talked about. That's why I said Brennan Marion was super important to the actual transfer portal this season. Because now on third down, we have a bunch of choice routes, right? Right. So slot wide receiver reads leverage in and out. Cam Perry, one-on-one with an outside linebacker, one-on-one with a nickel. I'll take Cam Perry every time. Quarterback and wide receiver must be. So pre-screen reads, we all seen last season how we dealt with the blitz, right? How, I don't know what Pat Shermer was dialing up against the blitz, bro. But when you got quicker wide receivers, the quarterback does a quick audible after see. They sees blitz, he recognizes blitz. We just replace the blitzer. Simple. We move the chains, bro. We take simple dink and dunk. That's what they call it, dink and dunk. Simple moves, right? Simple moving the chains there. Move the chains. Too often last season, run the ball on first down. Y'all watch the game. Run the ball on first down. Second and third down, throw against 9 people. They were getting to our quarterback with 4 down linemen. So they was dropping 8. No, they was getting to us with 3, dropping 8, dropping 7, not leaving a lot of windows open for us. Now, when you got Scooter, Perry, Gibson, Moore Jr., now you're gonna have now, and then you pair that with being able to run the ball inside. We good. We good. Appreciate everybody being here too. So I just wanted to get in the Brennan Marion bag today, just to really understand like his mindset and how it's gonna affect the Big 12, but also we pair that with if the defense can just hold the offense now, right? If the defense can just hold the offense, we can't give up 30 points per game. If we can hold them under 300 yards total a game, I'll take that, right? That's winning football right there. We can win with that, especially with the opportunities we're going to have. Laura Harvey. Hey, I appreciate everybody who's been here for the first time too. Appreciate you guys if you're in here for the first time too. If you come back tonight around 6:37, chat's going to be super lit right now. We keeping it light, we keeping it light or whatever, but I appreciate you guys being here. If you can subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up. On this channel, I'm always going to talk football. We're going to talk headlines, what's going on with Livingston, Ezra Christensen, if he's going to sign. But I like to get in-depth on formations, coverage, really talk football, really talk numbers. So if you're really into football, this is a channel for you because we're going to cover everything for sure. We're going to eat, sleep, and breathe football, bro, all the way up until the Georgia Tech game. Absolutely moving right along, right? So, boom. Some of the concepts that they have, again, if you've been here, if you guys are with me before, then we've went over this before, but there are a lot of new viewers, new subscribers who haven't seen this go-go offense playbook and these visuals. So I want to give them an opportunity to get familiar with what the offense is going to look like. Some of the concepts are going to do. Again, are we going to run this? No, but has this been ran before? Yeah. So crossing route, attacks to open grass. We understand that. Think 3 wide formation. We got Scooter running on a deep over route. Easy work. Outside receiver clears. Cam Perry, DeAndre Moore clears. We're trying to isolate that linebacker. If he's going to drop too far, if you're going to have to turn and open up and run with Scooter or Gibson, good luck. Running back protects, then releases. So you're going to have to be able to pass block as a running back in this offense too. So that's important. But a lot of the go-go is quick chip to the defensive end, spill out to the flat, quick out, quick choice route, quick swing route. You got to chip the defensive end as a running back before you get out there, right? The slot fade. Everybody knows the slot fade, right? Pretty simple. 3, you go twins right, twins left, wherever you decide. You go 4, you can go doubles, double right, double left, right. The slot runs a fade. The slot runs a fade behind the quarterback's leverage. Outside wide receiver runs a quick out. Quarterback gives wide receiver one-on-one chance, right? Pretty simple there. So this whole live has anyone else been watching the UNLV 2024 season over and like me, it's really entertaining? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not only entertaining, but you understand that he was able, it kind of gives you a numbers visual too of like he can tweak the offense based on who Brennan Marion can tweak the offense based on what's available. So at UNLV, he had a 1,000-yard receiver. He plays for the Green Bay Packers now. Right off the top, it's not really coming to my mind, but he had a outside polished receiver, and then he had the slot wide receiver who's playing for Cal recently, who is more quicker. But most of it was run off attacking the short side boundary of the field. So basically a lot of misdirection. So yeah, UNLV offense is a perfect offense to watch if you want to understand a go-go offense for sure. That's a great point, bro. That's the perfect offense to watch if you want to understand a go-go offense. Check out UNLV 2023, 2024. At UNLV, Ricky White was a beast. Yeah, there we go, Keith. What up? What up, Keith? Ricky White was a beast. That's who I was talking about. Ricky White, the outside wide receiver. That's who you're talking about, right? Ricky White, the outside wide receiver. And then he had a slot wide receiver who went for like 600 yards after that. Yeah, that's what I want to look. That's what I want to look at here. Appreciate everybody being in here too. If you can hit the thumbs up button, we really appreciate that. Right now, we're talking about Brennan Marion and how he is very important, not only to the transfer portal, but with his eyes as a recruiter, as well as him being an integral part of getting some of the wide receivers up here in CU for 2026. I really am excited about what he's going to be able to put out there as far as offensively. But just seeing the amount of talent that he brought in here. So share this tab right here. So this is some of the numbers with our offense. So Sacramento State's offense last season, right? A little bit more run heavy because that was his talented group. Brennan Marion does a good job of blending well with who his talent is. So right here, so this is why I was thinking about Omarion Miller return. I was like, oh, he finna eat. Mind you, he had Jaden Maivia, who's now at USC, who about to be in the NFL is real. So think Julian Lewis, when you get a great quarterback with Brennan Marion's offense, we could do numbers. Didn't have a 1,000-yard running back, 760 for Vincent Davis Jr., but Ricky Wright Jr. went crazy, 1,400 yards receiving, right? So passing attempts, 353 passing attempts, 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, right? Running game. So I don't know if this was the head coach who decided, because, offensive coordinator can come with their game plan, but it's still what the head coach wants to go with. So it looks like his leading receiver went for 760 and then 453 and then 500 yards. So very balanced. His a quarterback in the go-go offense, also about 277 yards. Sacramento State's quarterback last season ran for almost 400 yards. So the more mobile the quarterback, the better this system works, right? Excuse me. About 2,429 yards, 4.5 average a carry. Sacramento State, he had more talent at running back, so he ran the ball more. Ernest Campbell was his leading receiver with like 765 yards last season on only like, I want to say 40-something catches, 50-something catches or whatever. So even with the tight end, right? Let me see here. Receiving. So, that's who he is. Jacob DeSuze. So after this season, Jacob DeSuze transferred to Cal. Ricky White, the third, ended up getting drafted. But for our receiving core, this is what offensive coordinator like Brennan Marion this type of season. So who's going to be our 88 reception, 1,400-yard receiver? Or do you think we're going to have more of a committee? I feel like we're going to have more of a committee this year. I really think that because this year is about winning. It's not about getting nobody no touches. It's not about getting nobody to be the focal point of offense. It's about winning. At UNLV, I've been watching some Sac State. Yep, absolutely. D3 facts. I remember thinking that if White had eligibility, he could recruit him in 2025. Absolutely. That's what I was thinking about what was going to happen with Omarion Miller. I was like, man, if Omarion Miller returns this season, but we pick up DeAndre Moore Jr., we got Joseph Williams. That's why I feel it's going to be more of a committee. Because it's going to be I don't think we're going to have 1,000-yard receiver this season. I'm going to put it like that. I think we're going to have a bunch. I think we're going to have 4 guys over about 500 to 600 yards, respectfully. But we're going to win. We're going to be able to run the ball, control the clock, and we're going to be able to be out here and spread the ball around. When Ricky White was at Michigan State in Michigan, Ricky White destroyed Coach Harbaugh. Easy, Keith. I truly think the Buffs are going to air it out. Bro, our wide receivers is too talented. Watch. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing about Brennan Marion. He's going to be able to tweak it. Georgia Tech might be stout against the run, so we come out 4 and 5 wide. We move the chains with quick wide receivers, DeAndre Moore, Joseph Williams. Weber State might not be able to stop a run worth a nickel inside a drain system. So then we're going to run the ball. Everything this season is about winning. As long as we're getting that W at the end of the game. The scouts and the eyes are gonna be there. That's why you can see somebody like Jimmy Horn Jr. have the season like he had in 2024. Not a lot of yards. He had that North Dakota State game, and that was really it. But if you're talented, they're gonna find you. You don't need to have crazy stats. I mean, look at George Pickens. He didn't have crazy numbers at Georgia, and now he's about to probably be the highest paid wide receiver. It's all about upside and talent. But what Colorado has to do next season is win, whether it's throw the ball, air it out. But I do see, you're right, I do see them having a balance at wide receiver. There's too much talent out there, bro. That's why I do my 5-yard. I do my 5 wide package. Like, bro, I'm gonna just go 5 wide because anytime Scadero's not out there, that's crazy. Anytime Perry's not out there, that's crazy. Anytime Quentin Gibson ain't out there, those are all, absolutely. It's gonna be a fun offense to watch. But I agree with you guys there. Committee, too much talent on wide receiver. I think Juju will find the hot hand per game. Absolutely. Me too. Great point, D3. Me too. Absolutely. And it's not going to be, and we already seen how Juju is able to operate. He doesn't force throws. If it's not there, he throws it away. But I feel like he leaned on Omarion Miller a lot last season. That was the goal ball to Omarion Miller was his bread and butter. Now we're going to make him comfortable too. You know, the offensive, Brennan Marion's going to be able to go to Juju and be like, bro, who do you like on these formations? Who do you like running curls? Who do you like on the corner route? Who do you like on the post corner? Who's your slant guys? Who's your option wide receivers? And he, just like Sherman was able to do with Shador, he's going to be able to sit with the offensive coordinators and they go like, I like this guy in a certain situation. Third down, I want DeAndre Moore Jr., Scooter Rowe, and Perry on the field. First down, on goal line, I want Hakeem Williams, Zach Atkins. I want a double tight end formation in goal line. I want to throw goal balls. I want to be able to, you feel me? So yeah, they're going to be able to mix it up. Mel Tucker was the coach at Michigan State back on that Spartans heat. Absolutely. Right on. Shout out to Michigan too, bro. They're going through so much right now. I can't believe bro threw it all away for the snow. That was crazy. The last Michigan coach just wilded out this last season, bro. Threw it all away. That's crazy work. it might be a movie made about this season if it goes by. Yeah, bring back Prime, bro. Bring back the offseason Prime video. I loved watching those offseason takes with Prime because this is headlines. No matter, as Colorado Buffalo fans, we understand this is always going to be the headlines, bro. No matter if you could be Michigan, Ohio State, returning champions, Colorado's always going to find itself at the beginning of ESPN, the beginning of the popular talk shows, Pat McAfee, all these guys. That's just who it is. And so we gotta take more. We're gonna have to take pride in putting belt this season. This will be belt season, bro. Excuse me. It's not gonna be nothing like 2025, bro. It can't be. It's all gonna be built on the trenches, though. And this is just not me talking wishful thinking. I never like to come on here and just talk about. I really looked at this transfer portal. Ezra Christensen is so important, bro. Ezra Christensen is so important to our defensive line because he is one of Manuel Santana Hopper have FCS production with experience. Some of these other guys we're getting they don't have the production. So that's been the significant proven route is FCS production, older guy with production. So if the defensive line can be the defensive line and the linebacker room can be linebacker room, there's no reason why we shouldn't succeed this year in the Big 12. Not at all. So, yeah, I agree with you, bro. It's going to be a movie this season. The comeback season is real. Brennan Marion is a huge part of this comeback season. His philosophy, bro, what the go-go offense means, all of that means something, bro. Everything that Brennan Marion stands for, bro, is going to be important for us to getting back to what we want to do. This go-go offense, bro, that's the philosophy right here. Let's look at what Ricky White had 88 receptions, 1483. Jacob DeSuze. Excuse me. I'm going to pull up Sacramento State's offense, right? I'm going to pull up Sacramento State's offense and see so we can see the difference, right? So we can see how versatile that Brennan Marion is. Because last year with Sacramento State, he went more with a rushing game because that's where his strength was, his offensive line. And he probably he had Ernest Campbell. But other than that, it was quiet in the receiving room. Let me see here. State football. Yes, sirski. How's Sacramento State hoop team doing right now with Mike Bibby and him? I was covering them in the beginning of the season with Mikey Williams and everything, but I think Mikey Williams has to get to a Power 4 school and really be able to go there and put belt right now. I feel like he's not there. Dior Johnson doing his thing at Tarleton, wherever he's the second leading scorer in the NCAA is crazy. All right, share that right here. Appreciate everybody being in here too. If you could hit the thumbs up and hype this video up, I really appreciate it. So now we're gonna take a look at Sacramento State's offense from last season, right? You see here how that's look. Okay, looks good. All right, so we're gonna take a look at Sacramento State. So last year, so you see the year 2023 when he was the offensive coordinator, Cardell Williams. The quarterback for USC threw for 3,000 yards. This season, this very past season, 1,600 yards. Rushing yards, 1,200 yards from Rodney Hammond Jr. Ernest Campbell, who just came over in the transfer portal for us, 755 yards, right? So Brennan Marion goes where his strengths are. If the receiving core, it probably wasn't built off the receiving core last season. They had a great running back crew. Crazy. I thought Jaden Rashada, bro. If you know Jaden Rashada's story, bro, I thought this was the look for him. I don't know what happened there, or if he decided to medical redshirt or whatever, but I was really looking forward to Jaden Rashada keeping that job, bro. Like, this is a crazy. They need to come out with a 30 for 30 on Jaden Rashada, bro. What happened with him? That whole NIL deal, everything is crazy. Blurry. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let me reset that real quick. Stop sharing. Get back here. Hold on. Give me a second real quick. Get back there. How's that look? Still blurry? It's come back a little better. But yeah. So Rodney Hammond. So so I really want this to be us this year because I really want to see our running back group. Oh, right on. Appreciate that. Great one. Appreciate that, brother. So look at the running back group at Sac State last season. 188 carries, toting the rock. So the previous season we seen he had a featured wide receiver. This year, last season, he had a featured running back. There is a feature, right? It says the go-go offense says 1A, 1B, 188 carries says if you stand out, you get the rock. 1,214 yards, 6 point. Bro, he had 3 different running backs average over 6 yards a carry, bro. 3 different running backs over 6 yards a carry is crazy. 13 rushing touchdowns. Next, Damian Henderson Jr., who came over for us, 91 carries, 565 yards, 6 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns. Will Smith, 76 carries, 511 yards, another 6. He almost averaged 7 yards a carry, 5 touchdowns. And then the quarterback had 99 carries, 382 yards, 12 touchdowns. So that's what I'm saying. On this channel, we taking Juju's over on rushing. Get that cheese. Easy money. Because the go-go offense becomes even more featured when you have a running back who can run too. And Julian Lewis, no disrespect to Cardell Williams, is a way better quarterback than Cardell Williams. I hope Cardell Williams does good, but Julian Lewis is a way better quarterback. But if he can run, I haven't really seen Julian run as much, but if he can, that only makes the offense better. So let me see. Then the next running back got 36 carries. So look, that was 188. So what was the total on the rush? Yeah, they went crazy. They were top in the nation, top amongst the Big Sky, top in the FCS. So that's who we got right now. So you see, Coach Prime gave him the leeway to bring some of his guys over as well too. Y'all can hit that thumbs up too, guys. I really appreciate that too. If you get the thumbs up button on this video, really appreciate it. But look, Ernest Campbell has 755 yards on only 37 receptions. So at least I thought he had at least 40 receptions, but 37 receptions for 755 yards, 8 touchdowns, 20 yards a catch. Cam Perry had 44 receptions, 966 yards, 22 yards per reception. Scooterrow comes over with over 88 receptions, 1,289 yards, double-digit touchdowns. We cooking. But then the next wide receiver was 24 receptions for 361 yards, 0 touchdowns. Tight end, that's promising. 11 receptions, 107 yards. I think Zach Atkins in our tight end crew. Rodney Hammond Jr., 15 receptions, 100. So Rodney Hammond Jr. was just eating. He got the ball at. That's why I'm thinking to Kalen Trackhawk right here. 15 receptions, 147 yards, 9.8 average. That's what basically the Kalon Taylor was doing before he went down last season. Let me see what we talk. Appreciate everybody being in here, bro. I hope we start getting more and more better recruits starting in 2027 and beyond with this new recruiting style. I do too. I do too. I feel like Coach Prime recognized what was going on. I have a personal theory, bro, but I don't want to put it out there. But I think it was a lot more going on with that recruiting money, and it was a lot of money being funneled different ways. If you're picking up what I'm dropping, bro, allegedly, that's just my personal opinion. I feel like some players got paid and some other players got paid, and there might have been, you know what I mean? There might have been some other people getting paid with them type of deals because there's no way you paid them dudes that type of money. You feel me? Y'all feel what I'm saying, right? I'm basically saying some people got paid and it was like, look, if I get you this, I need some on the back end. Happens all the time. Allegedly. I'm always gonna say allegedly, but it happens all the time. And I feel like Coach Prime was like, nah, dog. We ain't having that, dog. I'm good. That's why you gotta be able when you and then our NIL evaluate everybody. We got to see what happened. Them numbers that got thrown to some of those players last season and what we got back was crazy. Negotiating those deals was wicked. I'm just saying, that's my personal opinion. None of that has truth to anything like that, but I'm thinking, yeah, NIL, Rebecca Lovo, the new athletic director, everything's being monitored way more closer this season in 2027. They're paying. We want to get players that's going to play even if it was free, but of course, with the NIL deal and this new collective money, everybody has a price. They have agents now. They're negotiating. Jordan Seaton freed up a lot of money. That's one thing he did do. I would have liked to kept Seaton. I think it would have been beneficial to see him and Julian Lewis see the field together. I don't really like the way he left. It's starting to look more and more crazy the way Jordan Seaton left. Even though I called it, and now I know my eyes wasn't lying to me. I seen it, bro. I was like, I made the video, and I got so many people talking to me crazy. Like I stayed up all night responding to comments like, "You tripping? He's loyal to the soil. He would never leave. He ain't built like that. He family, bro. He got that money. He was gone. Paid cash. Uncle Willie voice from next Friday. He was gone. Got that money. He was out of there. But I seen it, bro. When he shut down that third, I was like, him and McKinney ain't playing no more. I'm like, hold on, bro. I'm like, oh, these guys got agents. They're thinking about, bro, what if you get hurt? You getting hurt for what? We ain't winning. We won 3 games. We ain't going to go into the bowl. We ain't going to the playoffs. You're risking more by playing than you are for next season. So they shut it down like, hey, I'm not only we ain't going to get belt this season, but now I'm going to have a season of getting belt and I get hurt. So they shut it down so this moment that Seton just had right now could come to fruition. Now he's healthy. He got out of a horrible season. Let's keep it real. That season was bad, bro. We all sat through that and watched it. It was bad. But now he preserved himself and now he was able to get paid by LSU. He plays those last 3 games, risks getting hurt or whatever. And then so it all shows why he left, bro. You feel me? It all makes sense now. Yeah, Otis did a GTA 6 heist. They all did a GTA 6 heist last season, bro. And shout out to Phillips, whoever the recruiter is, the guy who brought him here or whatever. But obviously him moving on to Memphis, there's a lot that went on behind the scenes that, didn't hit the surface. But because when you got to think about Coach Prime wants you to come here and play already just off of NFL over NIL. He wants you to get here because if you like that, you're going to get the opportunity. You seen he let Travis play both ways when nobody else is going to let him do that. That was another story we just skipped over. He literally let a guy play full-time offense and full-time defense when that was never done and got him to the number 2 pick in the draft, bro, and won a Heisman. Come on, that was never done. That was a whole storyline he was going against too. Nobody will let Travis play both ways, bro. That's the reason why he went to Jackson State. Because everybody thinks they knows everything. Everybody thinks they know everything. Now the NFL might be a different level. He just showed last season it's tough when you up there with them all pros and them, that NFL is different. I think he might have got away with it in college. I still believe he can play both ways in NFL, but I do understand it's a lot on his body. He's going to have to put on a lot of more weight to be able to go out there and tackle Derrick Henry and then cover Jamar Chase for a whole game. He's already been like that in elite shape, but it's just different now. It's like the level of competition you're playing against. But we can think of Boo Carter being able to play on both sides of the ball this year too. That's something that I know Boo Carter wants to do too because I watched his highlights. You guys probably seen his highlights before too. He can slide out wide receiver, bro. Boo Carter might be one of the best wide receivers on the team right now. No cap. Donovan 5, I think he's already in NFL shape. He just suffered a freak accident. Yeah, I mean, look how every time Travis went up for the ball, it was like you held your breath because he got so much bounce. When he get up there, he come down all type of crazy, bro. That Arizona game when he got up there, was it Arizona or Utah? He went up there and he was looking down at the corners, and then he always been like that. So that's a great point, Donovan 5. Yeah. But now in the NFL, it's, they got too much invested in him. The Jaguars gave up too much draft capital. They moved up to get him, so it has to pay off. Because he is, when healthy, he's a starting corner for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he should be a slot, third wide receiver on the depth chart for them as well. Great point, though. Appreciate everybody being in here, too. If you get the thumbs up, I appreciate it. We coming up on about the hour 10 mark. I'm about to be back on around 6:37 tonight. Waiting to see if there's any videos that drop. We're going to do a live reaction to those. I just wanted to come on and give Brennan Marion's story, what he had to overcome, what he went through, shine some light on who our offensive coordinator really is. And we got an NFL pedigree offensive coordinator, bro. Signed with the Dolphins in the offseason as an undrafted free agent. He understands the grind. He understands what it takes to get to the NFL. Had a 31.9 yards per reception at Tulsa. That's insane. So brings even better understanding of, if you seen him at Texas, when he worked with the wide receivers at Texas, he was getting them boys right. So you pair him with Phillips. He has a lot to prove this season too, and I have full belief in what he was able to bring over in the transfer portal. Him and Coach Prime. That's why I felt like we all felt a little bit more comfortable this season, seeing like we seen he brought a lot over his guys over. I believe a lot of the wide receivers we got, Brennan Marion was like, I need him. He's going to be good for Juju. I know what Juju needs. I know what I need for my offense to be successful. Same thing with the running game. Same thing with the running game as well. Not trying to clown, but bro, since Marion looks like Woody from Toy Story in my mind. Facts. Now he sound like it. He sounds so country, bro. If you go back and listen to that video, I didn't realize he sounds so country, bro. Now I understand why he wears the cowboy hat and all that. But yeah, nah, most definitely. Bro, hungry and shout out to Coach Prime too for actually, a lot of people will let their egos get in the way and not understand. You need somebody who's younger. You need somebody who's relatable. You need somebody who offensive players now trust their scheme. If you would have kept Shermer there, you wouldn't have got the recruits that we got. Nobody was coming with Shermer still at offensive coordinator or Brett Bartolone. Facts. You could put a period at the end of that. Marion is a huge reason why we even got the wide receivers to come there. They were not about to pull up to deal with what the wide receivers just dealt with last season. Those numbers, trash. Wasn't no wide receiver coming to Colorado and Marion and Bartolone was still the offensive coordinator. Salute to those brothers. Wish them the best. But Marion is a big reason why we got the wide receivers that we got. Facts. They were not finna. Because we all know Colorado was a wide receiver university, no matter how you want to spin it. When Shedeur was there, it was wide receiver U. They was putting belt and they was running the ball. If you was a running back, get it off the backboard, get it off the rim. You know what it is. We going out here and we spinning it with two. Yeah, they would try to run the ball. They would try to run it. But at the end of the day, you had two back there. So we still go move to change. You give him what he needs. He's an elite quarterback, starting NFL quarterback. Last season, it was no starting NFL quarterback on the roster at that moment. Caden Salter came over with a huge resume from Liberty. That's FCS, though. He's a baller, yeah. But if Shermer wasn't going to commit to him, and then you got these commits who committed to Colorado, stay with me now, in 2025, thinking they was still the wide receiver U, but that wasn't the best method for us to win. With Salter, we should have just ran RPO and ran the ball and controlled the clock. That's what we should have did for him to be successful. We tried to have him go out there 4 wide, and that wasn't an offense for him, bro. I feel like Salter would do way better in this offense. Facts. He would eat in this offense. Last season, that's why I feel bad for him, bro. But at the end of the day, he got paid a lot of money, and he still got his opportunity. So it is what it is. I still think he has the arm talent to make it somewhere on somebody's practice squad for sure. I look forward to seeing all of them get back in Boulder because the pro day is usually in April. So we got that's why you see Jeremiah Brown, Martavius French. The pro day is going to be in another couple months. So we'll see all these brothers who just graduated back in Boulder for the pro day. Ain't going to be nothing like the pro day we had the year 2 seasons ago. That pro day was lit because unfortunately, not to a lot of these brothers ain't getting drafted this season. It just is what it is. They're gonna get camp invites. We didn't even get a lot of people that went to like a Shrine Bowl or a Senior Bowl or a Hula Bowl. It was just all bad. And that's about talent evaluation right there. That's about the evaluation of talent. And that's why Prime had to make the moves that he did. Because whoever was in charge of the talent evaluation and putting it, matching together, dropped the ball. It doesn't matter if you got a talented wide receiver, if you got a talented player, even on a bad team like that, they're still gonna make it to like a Shrine Bowl or a Hula Bowl or at least something. Nobody made it to nothing. Nobody, right? So I think that's a good point to leave it there. I appreciate it. On your way out, if you can hit the thumbs up and hype this video up, I'll see everybody at 6:30 or 7 on a Friday night. Pull up, have whatever you got tonight. We finna chop it up and do it live. I appreciate everybody, bro. Appreciate all the love in the chat. I appreciate all the support. This is amazing. I want to keep it moving with y'all. I'm gone. Say no more.